What's good, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael, and today we have a change of scenery. Today we are going to be talking about the refrigerator, the pantry, I call it the cupboard, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be talking about the kitchen specifically. We're going to be talking about how you can implement different tactics to help your weight on the scale. Now, I want to give a caveat to this video in that exercise and proper nutrition is unparalleled. It has been shown to be the best and most effective way of losing weight. But if you had to choose one or the two, most people would be surprised when I say nutrition is actually the best way to lose weight. And they'd probably be surprised because this channel is mainly about exercise, or at least that's how it's been focused so far. We're going to talk about these little tactics, okay? I'm really excited for this. Let's not talk anymore. Let's get straight into the video. Alrighty, so we're here in front of the fridge. Let's see what we're working with. I did not change the refrigerator. My mother was actually very upset. She's like, just do my refrigerator, you know? But I was like, no, I gotta do it for the video. So here we go. This is the freezer. We got some waffles. We got some Ling Ling. Ice cream. Oh, gotta have ice cream in the freezer. Got the corn on the bottom. Pancake and sausage stick. Hot dogs. We got the greens on the side. All right. And when we open up the refrigerator, what we got here is leftovers on the top. Some more leftovers. We got chocolate pretzels. And behind the chocolate pretzels, you can't even see it, blueberries. We got lunch meat, then fruit, more fruit. And we got some applesauce and vanilla yogurt, and then we got the condiments on the side. All right, so we're going to talk about what we're going to do with this now. All right, so now that we are here in front of the fridge, we can talk about what we actually want to do when we're laying out food in the refrigerator. There's these small details that matter, okay? Small details that matter. So when we open this up, I'm gonna switch sides. Apologize, I'm recording myself again. So you could see leftovers on the top. That's a plus. You wanna get the leftovers done and out of the way. You wanna eat those first. The idea is that sometimes you will open up the fridge. I've done this. Open up the fridge. You're not even hungry. You're just on autopilot. You don't even know what you're doing. You just open up the fridge. You're just bored, just looking for something to eat. Those things at eye level that you first see when you first open the refrigerator are going to be those things that you're likely to pick, right? Let's be honest. If you're on autopilot, you're not going to be thinking much to begin with, and you're definitely not going to go down to the bottom shelf to find what is down there, okay? So leftovers on top, that's a plus. We want to get rid of those leftovers, okay? Then we can see that we have these chocolate pretzels, right? These chocolate pretzels right here that are covering up the blueberries. You can't even see the blueberries. Let's get rid of this. If you want to have those chocolate pretzels, put them behind the blueberries or put them side to the blueberries, but don't hide the blueberries. Because chances are you're going to forget about those and those are going to go old. Lunch meat is on the center shelf, which is fine. We got fruit at the very bottom. Like I said, we want the food, the healthiest food, right? I don't know why I put that in quotes, but the healthiest food we want to put on the top, eye level. This is all the way on the bottom, which isn't great. Then we got fruit down here, which is good. We have a lot of fruit and a lot of vegetables. That's because I've been going grocery shopping. That's another tip. If you want healthy food, you gotta go grocery shopping. You gotta go grocery shopping. And if you say, okay, well, I don't pay for my groceries, my parents do. When I'm home for summer, my parents pay for my groceries. I have that luxury, fortunately. Go with them, right? Try to say, hey, can we get this? Just try little things, and then gradually over time, you'll be getting most of what you want. The problem with this bottom shelf here is that there's no way to sort through this fruit, right? There's oranges all the way on the bottom, then there's apples, and then there's nectarines. It'd be easier if we could divide them. And then lastly on the bottom, we got the romaine lettuce. That romaine lettuce is never gonna get eaten, not because people don't like it, but because they don't even know it's down there. I'm all the way down on my knees and I still have to hunch over to get to that bottom shelf. Okay, so fortunately, we have already covered a couple of the tips, right? The first tip is that the leftovers are on the top. The fruit, the vegetables, the healthy food, the stereotypical healthy food is at eye level as well. That unhealthy food, things like chocolate or dessert generally goes in the freezer, which we'll get to. But again, this is the same concept. We don't even need to make a different cut for this. We can see these pancake sausage things. They're really good. Very processed. Let's put those at the bottom or at the side. We have broccoli. We have all these greens. They're all the way on the bottom. They're never going to get eaten. This is why your fruit spoils. This is why, at least this happens in my family, is we buy all this fruit, we buy all these vegetables, and it ends up spoiling. And we buy it again, we're like, why are we buying this again? And no one ever eats it. No, people will eat it if they know it's there. Like I said, people go on autopilot, they don't even know what they're doing. They're not thinking, so they're definitely not going to go to the bottom. Okay, so we got all of this. Condiments on the side, that is fine. I'm going to rearrange this and show you what I think it should look like. And we're back. Let's see what we did here, okay? This was real simple. It took me like 5 minutes to do, maybe not even. So I left the leftovers on the top, okay? And surprisingly, you're gonna see this cucumber here and you'll be like, where was that cucumber at? Exactly. Remember that drawer that had all that fruit in it? This was buried inside, and there was also plums and there were kiwis in there. I didn't even know they were in there, and I'm the one who bought the food. So what we did here, you can actually rearrange these shelves and these drawers to fit your needs, right? But I kind of like the layout to begin with. We have quite a bit of leftovers right now, so I didn't want to really move a lot around. But I moved the fruit to the top, closer to eye level. Lunch meat stayed where it was. The fruit drawer, I actually recommend keeping it in its bag. Oftentimes they'll come in like a box or they'll come in a bag. Keep them in there. It's easier to actually keep them separate, like the oranges from the apples and everything. So you can say, okay, I want an orange, I want an apple. How many different fruits do we have in here? So keep them separate, keep the bags or the boxes. But I laid them out because we don't have that and we have a little bit of extra room. You remember how the pretzels were in front of the blueberries? They're no longer in front of the blueberries. The blueberries are in the front. And the lettuce that was all the way on the bottom is now on top of those pretzels. Okay? This drawer that was once covered with all this fruit is now mainly just oranges and peppers, which is good. And I just left the applesauce and the vanilla as it is, as well as the condiments, because I don't really use those, nor do I track them. Now, if we go to the freezer, we use the exact same tactic I just used. We put the vegetables on the top side drawer. Again, I found things in here that I didn't even know were in here. Things like salmon, chopped spinach, strawberries, like all these crazy things I didn't even see before. Also, something I did is I put the fruit by the fruit in the refrigerator. I put the frozen meat by the frozen meat in here. It's like same shelf, same area. That way it's easier to find all the frozen meat that you have. Same thing. All the mozzarella cheese is close to itself. Ice cream on the bottom, waffles on the bottom, these pancake sausage sticks on the bottom. I hope you're starting to see a trend here. Alrighty, now we are here at the pantry. So again, this is going to be a mess, but let's look at it. Alright. Cheerios, protein bars, oatmeal. You can kind of see where my food is. Popcorn, different brownie mix, chocolate milk, canned chicken up on the top right, ton of sugary cereal, peanut butter, more condiments. We got these chocolate raisins, beef jerky, fruit snacks. It's kind of all over the place. Again, the strategy here is that we want at eye level those healthier foods and down at the bottom those unhealthier foods. Also, we want to categorize them. So cereals are by cereals. This is done better than the refrigerator and the freezer were. Cereals by cereals, condiments by condiments, chocolate by chocolate. Okay, so we know generally where to find things and we don't have to go looking all over the place to see what all we have within that specific category. Another shopping tip that I have for you, besides actually going yourself, is one, don't go when you're hungry. Because if you go when you're hungry, you're going to start throwing things in your cart that don't belong there. Just buying them for the sake of buying them. Also, a strategy I have is to generally stay on the outside of the grocery store. The outside of the grocery store will have your bread, your dairy, your meat. It'll have those more whole foods typically. Where the further on the inside you get within a grocery store, the more processed food there is. So generally I would say avoid those aisles. The aisles will have the sugary snacks, the cereals, the popcorn, the ice cream, all this other processed, unhealthy food that we think of. Stay on the outside of this grocery store. Go when you're not hungry and help pick out things for your parents or yourself, or even go with a buddy if you can. And we're back, okay? So this is what we did. We put all the extra stuff up here in this corner, high out of the way, because let's be honest, we have a limited space. You gotta put something up top out of reach. And that was those things like, we already have a box of Cheerios. So this is an unopened box of Cheerios. However, in some cases, like right here, there's 2 open boxes of Fruity Pebbles. This is a downside when those similar categories are separate because, oh, we don't have any Fruity Pebbles? I'll open up this box. This box is unopened. If they were right next to each other, that would have never happened. So I recommend that you actually combine those cereals. If they're the exact same cereals and they're both opened, just combine them. Same thing I did with the fruit in the refrigerator. There are multiple boxes of blackberries. Just pour them into one box, boom, ready to go, save some space. So the extra stuff is up here out of the way in the corner. I'm taller than most of my family members, so I put my food up at my eye level. Not their eye level, but my eye level, because this is what I will see, okay? So now we have a lot of this dessert stuff up high out of their immediate eyesight, we should say. Then I put it in categories whereby all the baking material is next to itself. And then we have some of the condiments right here. We have all the grains here and some snack food, because you got to put the snack food somewhere. Obviously the best route is not to buy it at all, but that might be unrealistic depending on where you're at right now. Cereal all the way at the bottom. So you kind of have to get on your knees just to get cereal. And we got the chips right beside it. I put the olive oil, vinegar oil, all the oil by itself together on the bottom, as well as the pop by itself all the way at the bottom. Another thing that I noticed with the refrigerator, the freezer, and also this, which actually really surprised me personally because this is the first time I've done this, is finding things in here that I didn't even know were in here. That's the first thing. Second thing is you'll find things that are kind of one and done, kind of like this Easy Mac. It's the only one in here like this. In which case I laid it down horizontally in front of everything, where you can easily still see this and grab it, but you could still take the things out behind it as well. That's the key thing here, is that you have easy access to everything, but the easiest access is given to those healthier foods. All right, now the last and final tip that I have for you is actually relating to the cupboards or the pantries, whatever you call them where you're at. And that's relating to something as small as the size of a plate or the size of a cup, okay? I'll see if I can find an article. I'll post it here, the documented peer-reviewed research paper, essentially saying that if you have a huge, a monstrous plate, human psychology is going to want you to fill that entire plate. We don't like things empty. Same thing with a cup. So, similar to how I said exercise and diet is important for weight loss. But if I had to emphasize one over the other, it would be diet. If I had to emphasize what you eat versus how much you eat, I would emphasize what you eat. Second to that is how much you eat. You can have the healthiest foods, but if you have these monstrous glasses, these monstrous plates, you're much more likely to overindulge in these foods. This is going to cause bloating and you being overweight or obese. Okay? So something as small as picking at the store when you pick your, plates and your cups and everything, pick small cups. Pick small plates. And you're like, Michael, but then I have to go back twice for something I want to eat, or I need to carry 2 plates. That's exactly the reasoning, is that little bit more of effort you have to give might be enough to deter you away from overindulging, because ultimately that's what you're doing if you have a monstrous plate or a monstrous cup. Small little things like this make a difference in the long term. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude the end of this video. The camera is about to die. If you did enjoy the video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe for more, and hit the bell notification. Leave any comments down below if you have any other tips that you want to share with people, you disagree with what I said, or maybe something I said really helped you out. That's all I got for this video, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next one. Peace.